Hello, welcome to another episode of Meandering, the series which I meander around maps, basically reviewing them, primarily for a friend of mine. If you find this and you're not that friend of mine, I hope you enjoy. I'm looking at Athena today, another Greece-themed map. I'm on a roll with these. Doesn't have a mini map, so I'm just gonna no-clip up and see what looks simpler. We got A over here, got B over there. You know what? I'm gonna look at A first. Got the old Dust 2 doors. You would hide like this. Oh yes, the memories. Never gonna come into fruition. This is obviously T-spawn, but double door thing into mid. We'll focus on that later. Gonna keep on with the A main. Very low roofs. I don't know why this feels like a source map to me. I just get that vibe with the texturing and the lighting being so like saturated. Forced to crouch if you stand on this, and then you go straight. Interesting. That's just a mild inconvenience. You got this little house area, or you can go straight through this up a ramp to a site, which is right here. Alright. Very interesting. Gonna look at this house area first. Ladder up. Ooh. Open roof to throw utility. Oh, not very utility throwable due to the fact that you're gonna come into a gunfight. I dislike how you're right up the ladder and it appears that you are directly in the sights of a CT who is just waiting for your ass to poke his head out, and then you're done. That doesn't seem ideal to me. Let me just see if I am understanding it. Okay. Will this guy exist where I want him to? Holy. Oh god, there's like 3 bots? Okay. Boom. Yeah, I can see his ass for sure. There's a lot of messy angles here. I'll focus on that stuff later. I kept placing bots and it propelled me forward because of collision. We're not going to worry about it. Anyways, classic meandering. Go up the ladder. Source ladder moment. We got these boxes around this pillar, creating tiny messy angles. Have this area to kind of exist around. Actual piece of cover here. The rest of it is just pillars. Headshot angle here is a CT that you have to be mindful about. As a T, if I'm coming up this ramp, I have all this stuff up in front of me. Is this all? This doesn't have collisions. Alright, that's good. This has collisions, so you could jump onto this, and then if you jump here, and then here, and then does this have collisions? Oh, there's a roof here, so it doesn't matter. But oh yeah, okay. It's not as funny as I thought. Anyways, you can also stand on this to stay elevated, get a nice angle. All right. I can jump up here very quickly as well. So if I'm a CT and I want to aggress, I can just jump up fast. Holy. And as a T, if I want to quickly get on the site, I can come out here. That is so bright. Holy. That guy stands out. Fucking a black hole fading and sucking in all the light. Huh? Tiny little gap angle here. Some devious offer with an insane reaction. You can hold this, and then someone else can cry when they die to that angle. That'll be fun. Very basic A site. Looking at the site itself, where would I plant? If I want to plant safe, I guess I would plant tucked here. This is also a pretty open plant. If I want a more open one, I guess I'd be planting here. Actually, it's not open to the ramp. The default plant appears to also be one of the best plants. You can see it from main. There's not much other stuff that lets you see it deep from main, except maybe like here, but then you can long arm it as a CT no matter what. Like there'll be a way to defuse it from long angles. Maybe here. Right on this tree might be it. This default area I suggested at first as like the safe plant, honestly isn't a bad plant for seeing deep main. You can peek from multiple elevations too, just to throw them off guard. You can jump up here and then peek wide like this as well. There's a lot of options. I think planting here is not all that bad. Let's look at it from the CT perspective. This appears to be CT spawn. I'm just gonna put these bozos in this corner. Yeah. CT spawn. A lot of stuff to just kind of exist around, play around. Is it clipped? Yes. Just a lot of stuff. You have. This is a weird angle. I feel like this support shouldn't exist, just the center one, so you can get the idea of, hey, there's supports here for the visual, but it doesn't get into the angle, because with the way it is right now, if a guy's standing here and I'm peeking, it's a little awkward. Like, I can see him, but his head is sort of blocked by that, which is just annoying. It's not a big issue. Just cramming all these dudes in a corner. Huh? Can jump crouch on this, but you have a roof anyway, so not as funny as you'd hope. All of this is jump crouchable, it appears. So you don't have to go up the staircase or this thing. Over here you can just jump up this as well. So this is the one side that you can't quickly access the platform. So this is where CTs are going to be playing all over. Can't jump up here. Very interesting that that is clipped. You can't jump up here either. What? And okay, this is the clipping's a little aggressive. Like this is something you can normally jump on, but you can't. So, but I guess it's for the better. Is that why I had an angle before that? No, it's not. There's still this angle. That's not great. Through all this, that's I don't know. Just put a plank in between here and we're chilling. Other than that, I'd say it's not that bad. Again, this feels weird, but it's not bad. A decent site, simple site. As a CT, I'm just playing around these boxes, holding this main. Probably getting one guy to kind of get aggressive fight on the ladder area. I see that you can get a feed angle here, and you can shoot through it. That's funny. You're never playing this, but I mean, you could. I feel like you play it more for info than for actually trying to take a gunfight through here. But it exists. Very peculiar. You can do it here too. Very interesting. Oh, okay, I looked at it, said everything there is to say about that. Let's look at B from the T perspective. T spawn is back here. I'm going to B. Mid was over here, right? Yeah, so this is the B route. There's this upper area for decoration that you can't access without a boost. And then there's a gate here. And it can be broken. I just had that feeling. Okay, breakable thing, we're gonna worry about this. So you can boost here and then break into here and then break this as well. And then you are on your way to B. Very interesting. You're not gonna do that often. You can just go this way. Oh. This is mid, right? Okay, so you have this route into mid as well as like a drop. Is this clipped? Yeah, very aggressive clipping. Honestly, not I personally dislike it when stuff that looks normally playable is clipped, but it can be worse. Missed the spot though. That's the thing you can do for an angle of the off variety. This isn't playable. I don't know why, but for a second I thought these windows were like a spot. So this is the route to be. We also have this up area that you can boost, and of course this double door does too. Did we really need double doors here? I feel like we could have just gotten away with having this be an open arch, or if you're gonna have the double doors, have swap them. Like this one should be the one facing out, so there's like cover. This is so bad. Anyways, ladder here. Can I get on top? No, it's not clipped. I just think it's too small. Ladder up here. This will take you in between the two pieces. We got a shot earlier, so we'll break this one, and then you can peek from an upper, higher elevation. You can also do movement to get up here, and then you break that stuff, and then as a CT you could aggress, I guess. There's options. And as a T, so you come up here. This leads back into mid. We'll come to that later. So you can run across here, this arches area, onto B site, exposed to this little mid staircase thing on your way there. Or you can just kind of go on this main lower ramp. This is the site itself. A lot of plant options, but that's probably clipped, isn't it? Yeah. Speaking of a lot of options, this is a thing you can do. You can boost here, and then you can get on this. Is this intentional? I'm assuming not, with the way that everything else is laid out in this area. This looks like you should be able to fit through it, but it's clipped. Too annoying. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. Where would I plant? Probably here. This is the most open plant, and if I want to plant default, I don't know. If I am trying to just get a safe plant going, I guess, like right here in this corner. But this is a thing in mid, but it's just actually real. Okay, it's an angle, and then you can jump across. Okay, so something to worry about. There's a ladder here. Okay, what the hell? We'll come back to this later. There's just stuff. I'm intrigued by this map. I think it's cool. This is a spot to hold for aggression. Hey, remember when I pointed out these things and I said they'd never be useful? Well, boom, if CT's got aggressive B, a really aggressive B is possible. You can jump on this roof visually, but you can't actually. Alright. Interesting B site. I'm pushing this as a T, and I am looking at this headshot angle around here. Maybe someone in this upper window area, but that's not too bad. And I peek, someone around there, maybe someone around this, but this was boarded up earlier, so actually not. And there's this tight corner. This doesn't feel that bad to actually clear coming from the ramp area. I'm coming from this arch area. If I ignore mid for a bit, I just look straight. Is this upper area accessible? Looking like it's not. A, we have the dust to he uses his prop a lot of angle potential off of this, of the off variety as well as of the headshot variety. I'm not a fan of this angle existing though. This is a little much. Like that's a bit long for me. I need to give weapon underscore AWP. Now this is not a shot I'm hitting, but it's a shot that someone might hit. That is 2,200 hammer units. And it is very far. This is not a sightline that should exist in my opinion. Just slightly jet this out. Just the slightest bit. Like, just place a barrel here, honestly, too. Boom. Gets rid of this headshot angle, though, I guess. But, you know what? I think it's for the better, because otherwise, you have a far too absurd off angle. It's just so weird and off and unexpected. As a T, you are never ever fighting that and winning. I like how you're able to hide here for a bit and then peek later. That's nice. The boosting, I'm just going to assume, is unintentional. As a CT, I'm coming from here. I spawn, I go this way, yada yada yada. I can go up here and take fights as well. I am kind of a fan of the fact that you're also able to see this arch, but you're fully exposed to this, so you have to kind of decide if you want to. It's not really a good decision, but it's one that you're allowed to make. You can also play like this, and you're not really exposed that much to the lower area, and you can just play for the guy crossing. You're only worried about someone taking like the upper aggression route for fights. Interesting. Ignoring that, how would I play the site? If these two things are in here, I'm going to reset the. I'm going to spawn on CT side. I'm going to buy an op. I'm going to reset the rounds, and then I'm going to actually buy the op. And then I'm going to use my legs, and I'm going to also type in SV underscore infinite angle 1. I'm going to crouch and op like this. I will catch people coming up on this ramp area. That is what I will do as a CT opping. And if I'm rifling, I'm going to play around this as well. And I have a lot of options. I can also op here as well. I could also choose to op like this. This isn't terrible. Speaking of not terrible, you can peek like this. So this little ledge allows you to get up, and then you can get an angle. And that angle allows you to actually see like properly, like a CT anywhere in this area. Because otherwise, as a T, I can't see anything. But as soon as I hop on this ledge, this gives me the verticality I need to peek. So you can clear a lot from this area, which is nice, including someone crouched playing like this, right? Let's get a yeah. He's crouched playing in that general area. I swing and I can see his head barely. Of course I have to be worried about this, but I think it's interesting that they have that ledge very specifically for that purpose. This is a funny off angle that you could play as well, very unexpected. You can crouch under this part as well. This has collisions and everything, so you could even boost onto this if you wanted to, which is funny for even more off angle potential. I think this is a very interesting map. I do wish that there was a bit more for a CT in this area. Like I wish that this thing was a bit bigger. Like just boom. This makes this a nicer, larger piece of cover for me to play around. I can isolate fights easier from both sides. I'm a bigger fan of that. And scaling up here, this isn't bad, but I feel like as a post plant, as a T, I don't really have anywhere to play on site, and this kind of has a knock-on effect on CT side as well, where, again, I don't feel like there's a great place on site. I'm playing further back off-site, which isn't inherently bad, but it's nice to have a few more on-site angles, so I think just add in something, some sort of thing, box, piece of cover to play around, just like hell, even this, create a headshot angle here, I can crouch, and it's like not a good angle, but it's like a ninja angle, T-side post plant, this is like a corner to play. Like, I think it could be not terrible. Again, off angle potential, movement potential. It just adds a lot to the map, these two things on B site. Overall, very interesting B site. Real quick, I want to look at A and see if the cover is actually. I actually do feel like it's a similar thing. There could be more cover. I feel like there should be something in this area right here. I don't know why, but I feel like that there should be something to play around, especially like post plant, because you have this upper area to kind of fight around, but that's about it. This area especially feels like empty. This looks like it was meant to have like a wall right here to play around. This would be like a very core position. It feels like it would be. And that's how I'm going to build a wall and make it tall. Oh yeah, I'm the greatest wall builder of all time. Okay, Okay, I'm so good. Boom. And then, okay, wait, just imagine. Imagine for a second that this wasn't terrible. Just pretend it isn't. Okay. I have really high production quality. I pride myself on it. Okay, okay. Yeah, now it's coming together. Okay, okay, okay. You won't find this anywhere else on YouTube, probably because it's terrible, but shit. Okay, it's okay, we can work with this. We can, okay, don't worry about it, we can work with this. We can, okay, we ignore the cancerous tumor on the left. And, spent like, what, 2 minutes doing that? Boom. Actually, this is better. I'm actually so good at making maps. Almost. I don't even need to use hammer. I'm just so good. I feel like that'd be an interesting competition. Make a map in 15 seconds using only prop placements on a pre-done gray box layout. That's an idea. Anyways, I feel like this would make the site play a lot better. And I feel like there should be something here. The only issue is like the idea of making it not be jumpable. So like this you can't jump on unless you are a long jump lord, which I'm not. And then you have a piece of cover to play around in this area. I feel like that'd be more fun. There is like the movement potential here, which I don't think it's inherently bad, right? Because if you're doing that movement, you'd rather do this movement anyway, so. I just think adding more cover here is nice. I don't think this tree should exist. It's just kind of annoying for movement and muddies up a very important angle here with this leaf perfectly blocking where I'll be seeing a guy come out of the ladder. Anyways, on to middle. T's can come in the middle through here or this drop. I'm assuming the doors are a faster route just looking at the map itself. Dust your thing, fight around. Yay. Even more stuff. Don't like all these pillars here. It feels a little clunky for movement in this general area. Like you can fit through them, but I kind of have to squeeze. It's a little weird. All this stuff has collisions. It's awkward. This leads to the arches area. This isn't breakable. First ever non-breakable thing. That was the ladder area I saw earlier. This middle is interesting. Where does this lead to? Okay, so this is the mid to 8 thing I saw earlier, right? So as a T, I can go straight and take a left, and I can go up lamps, we'll call it, because there's 2 insanely right lamps. I want to call it arches, but there's like 17 different sets of arches. So you could go through here, and this would lead you into what I would the 8 connector basically into mid, or you can go up the staircase that also isn't clipped to get an elevated angle on one, I guess the mid courtyard. You could go straight to also go to the mid courtyard. You could go right to get into the arch area, or you can go through here into ladder. Ladder also has a jump. This mid courtyard is definitely going to be fought around a lot. CT Son would be right at it, yeah. So this is kind of where they're brawling from. So they're just going to be posted around here on one of the many angles. I do wish that there was a bit more for a CT in terms of like actual options here. It doesn't feel like there's much. And as a T, as I'm scaling up, I feel like I'm very exposed to a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of cover. Once again, this is a moment in which I feel like a box would provide just a lot. Just a single tall box. Boom. Basically just making this pillar larger. And then as I come out, I have the option to isolate like one angle. I still have to worry about the right. And as I scale up, if I try to push this, I'm still worried. But the way it was before, you're exposed to both sides all the time. And that's just a little much for me, in my personal opinion. Just making this pillar bigger, or hell, making this whole thing like a center wall again, akin to what I did with the barrels thing over here. Ooh-wee. Overall, very interesting middle. I'm gonna want to just kind of run by this and go into A connector, or also run by this and go into this ladder area to flank. This ladder area is a huge thing. I feel like you just are going to want to throw smokes that allow you to sneak into the ladder area easily. Just take the drop and then move by. Maybe get a smoke that lands a double smoke, sort of akin to T-side cache. I mean, I haven't played new T-side cache, but old cache. Right? You'd do the double smokes mid, and then you'd use that to scale up. I feel like a similar thing where you're double smoking this every single round from T-spawn. You probably, I'm not trying to find an actual lineup, but something like stands here and throws, you could probably find like the actual angles, running jump throw, something like that. And you could get stuff to land here, and that would allow you to scale up mid and quickly split into this connector, or quickly split into the other connector arch side, or go into ladder, and you can use the ladder to, you know, work into courtyard to CT for your flank, or you could use that to shoot out doors and jump through. Very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting. Actually, I'm a huge fan of adding a bit more cover, like I mentioned. I genuinely do think a lot of the times I add cover and it's just like maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but I think that personally it's good. But this I think is just objectively helping make the map more fun to play, because otherwise it feels very difficult to like play around this angle. Because without this here, I'm just how do I like take fights? I can't. This isn't like a real piece of cover. The way it is now, though, I have the ability to take fights that feel real with more cover, and this just makes post-plant better and everything better. It's just nice. It's timings time. I'm gonna start on T side, running to A. 12 seconds. I can peek the site at 8 seconds, and that's what matters. So it goes there from the CT perspective. So at 54, so can I make it there by 46? Easily. I'm holding on to this, I'm volleying this, I'm getting up close, holy. Alright, so they can't cross it here without being seen, unless of course smokes, flashes, mollies. If you were to go back to talking about, oh, you already have infinite ammo on. I'm on CT side, MP, just go I mess it up. There we go. If I were to fly over here, I think that as a CT, you are going to want to find a smoke that somehow quick pops here.
Laying down smoke.
To get rid of the long angle that they have, so that way they have to at least jump down, and if they're jumped down, you can take a more advantageous gunfight where you have 2 levels of elevation, and they just dropped, and they have no levels of elevation, and the cover they have is a lot more lackluster, and yeah, anyways, pretty simple timing for that. Gonna have forever to hold on to this, gonna be able to throw a molly, but it won't be able to spread to both high and low, so you can't fully molly the choke for as deep as you would like, but you can fully molly off ramp or smoke it or whatever. You wouldn't want to smoke it because that lets them cross for free into ladder. I'm not going to check the ladder timing because it's kind of irrelevant with the way it is right now. With that, I'm going to check the timing for B. Starting on CT side.
We are good to go.
34. I'm not going to go through mid because raking everything I feel like would make it take longer. At 10 seconds I can peek around this corner. I think the time is going to be a lot faster than that. I shouldn't have paid attention. Oh well. 16. Can hold this for a while, yeah. At 10 seconds I'm making it to here, whilst at 10 seconds as a CT I was making it to here. So if I were to go back like 2 seconds, I'd be like here, and a T would be like here. That's where they would be, meaning that I have more than enough time to be standing here on around this area as a T is here. Let's just look at the CT. Let me see how far I can go in 10 seconds. I saw how far they could go.
This day right here is where we end this.
So I saw that a T was able to start peeking here at 10 seconds, and I was able to make it like here at 10 seconds, meaning that I could easily tuck behind this and play a headshot angle, a fight like that, or definitely play one of the many angles on site, or this heaven area. I feel like I didn't touch on this heaven area too much. Would it be that bad if you could jump out of this? I feel like it wouldn't, but who knows. Would it be that bad if there was a tiny thing to elevate yourself on to peek over this box? I also, once again, feel like it wouldn't. But what do I know? Okay, mid timings. I'm on CT 83. I'm able to hold this by 49, so 4 seconds and I'm already posted on this angle from, like, I guess here would be like better. I could also just go left and also hold it. Let's do that one more time and see how far it is to go to the left, because that's like the nice angle. 34. 4 seconds. East side, let's stick with the east side. Definitely more than 4 seconds. 24. So they're holding on to me for a while. And by a while I mean a second, up and off. This round I'm just gonna rush this. You can also boost here, which is funny. For an angle that's less expected, and you can jump on this and, oh, they have a clipping on the ceiling. I was thinking, oh, they haven't very intentionally clipped it. So that way you can boost on this, but you can't boost over here. It's very interesting. can't get onto this tree. I do like the fact that you are allowed to boost on this, and also just getting this like funny angle on, you know, the guy who's playing in this area. I do think that the timings in mid are good, so a CT can hold on to that. The smoke thing I mentioned earlier, scratch that. The timings are way too fast for a smoke to land if you were to throw it. You're just gonna fucking wing it. Wing a smoke that you bounce off this pillar, and hopefully it lands where you want it to. But because it's a pillar, you bounce in like 16 different directions. That was just 2 throws that I thought were pretty similar. And yeah, it's a... This is kind of a minor thing, but I wish a lot of rounded surfaces in general only had 8 sides or like 16, a smaller amount of sides, so it's easy to get consistent bounces off them. Like this doesn't, it actually doesn't look like it has too many. Probably something like 64, but yeah, I just kind of wish it was smoother. Or at least you can use grenade clip on these to make them like consistent for grenades. But yeah, the fast smoke thing, scratch that. This map is very, very fast paced. Like every contact point was 10 seconds or under. Nothing took longer than that. Real quick, this is a place to throw a utility piece. You could also theoretically boost onto this. Oh wait, is this? No, you can get up here, so I would be boosted. I'd jump here, and then I'd jump on it. I would stop being bad at the game, and I'd jump onto this, and I'd get here, then I'd turn off this, and then I have an angle. Is this something that's real? Not really. Is it something that's funny? Yeah, definitely. This isn't a real spot, it's just a boost. Yeah. We have this. How quick would it take to break with an AK? Let me turn off infinite ammo so I can see the bullets. 6 bullets. Not that bad. And I was wall banging the second one earlier, so. Then I can peek upper. It takes longer to peek through this upper way, but it's definitely a nice way to peek this. As opposed to just being kind of stuck on this lower. Definitely being able to peek like this is nice. Yeah, like I said, all there is to say, and more about this map. Overall, I think it's pretty cool. Real quick, I just want to show this angle earlier, that without the box, right, it's a lot harder to actually isolate fights and play like properly. Especially because I'm also jumping on this for elevation, which is good and bad because I'm throwing off their crosshair placement, but also mine. It's just not ideal. Just more cover would be nice around this whole entire general area. And again, I think that this just feels like it was meant to have a wall at one point. Mid itself, I feel like just this pillar, make it larger, make a nice solid piece of cover. For the actual real angle, you're peeking from here anyways to the fight. I think after this gunfight happens, I should be able to safely scale with something nice, solid to peek around and fight around without having too much to worry about. Yeah, let's make it like that thick the whole way. Boom. Right, that concludes me looking at Athena. Hope you enjoyed.